Huge fight on the main card of UFC 195, Carlos Condit and Robbie Lawler. We are going to preview this fight from a betting perspective with Nick Kalikas. His website is MMAoddsbreaker.com. And Nick Kalikas, of course, for those who don't already know, is a professional MMA odds maker and a consultant for numerous sports books on booking and moving lines for these MMA fights. Nick Kalikas, Carlos Condit, and Robbie Lawler. Super competitive odds for this fight, right? Last night I saw literally a pick'em, minus 110 on each side. Now I'm seeing it slightly shaded to Lawler. My guess is that because it's such a high-profile fight, two hyper-violent fighters, and such competitive odds, my guess is that the betting volume for this fight is huge and split down the middle.
You're absolutely right. A lot of two-way action coming in, a lot of split opinions on this fight. We're going to see some sharps on both sides of this fight. We're going to see a lot of public action on both sides of this fight. This is a fantastic matchup between two guys that have been around the sport for a long time and are definitely worthy of fighting for this title.
And so the opening odds that you recommended were basically pick 'em. You knew that you'd get big two-way action both ways if you open pick 'em, right?
It's about $135, $145. Some spots open with obviously Lawler being the champion. He's got a slight edge, and especially, I mean, the way he's been performing recently as well. So you got to give the champ just a very, very tiny edge, but it is a true pick'em fight, and that was included as far as that goes as well. So they got to be careful and kind of go with the action flow here for sure.
All right, so let's just quickly analyze the fight from a betting perspective at the odds right now. Check the odds right before this call at 5 dimes. Robbie Lawler minus 115, Condit on the other side minus 105. Total 4.5 rounds. The over is minus 120. You know, Condit obviously very, very close stylistic fight here, but Lawler a little bit more of a reckless striker. Condit a little bit more of a tactical striker, a strategic striker. You know, if you had to pick a winner here, who would it be?
I'm leaning a little bit more towards Condit, to be honest with
you.
It's tough because you got a striker versus striker matchup, which is fantastic for all of us, right? Because neither one of these guys like really taking the fight to the floor. And in fact, their opponents usually are the ones that try to get these guys down because they're striking so outstanding. So these guys are going to stand in the middle. They're going to throw down. Like you just said, I mean, Robbie Lawler has a tremendous amount of knockout power. What he's accomplished coming back and making this UFC run to the top is phenomenal, really. And Carlos Condit's been right there, always improving. I mean, he's always been, he's had that champion's heart and that mentality as well, both guys coming from a good camp. So this is really a barn burner. I think what you see in Carlos Condit is a little bit more diverse striking, but with Robbie Lawler, you definitely have a little bit more pure power as well. Yeah. So somebody's probably going to end up getting caught here, or we could see a 5-round war, which would be fantastic if you think about it. I would love to see this fight play out 5 rounds and these guys just go at it the whole time.
All right, so maybe you know, the odds are so tight that there's not a clear way to bet this fight with big value. I mean, obviously, neither one of these guys should be a big favorite over the other one, so there can't be much line value when it comes to who's going to win the fight. As far as props are concerned, I don't know in the total. You know, two hyper-violent fighters, both guys, you know, obviously tough chins, rugged guys, but both guys also big strikers. Have you gotten any notable action on the total either way?
There's been a little bit of action back and forth as well here, because I think a lot of people think that they can neutralize each other out. They're tough enough, like you just mentioned, that they can survive each other. But man, 5 rounds is a long time, especially with this kind of skill set and this kind of knockout power. So I'm on the fence with that. I could see it realistically hitting the cards. I could see it ending, and maybe in the second round, third round. You never know. So it's a tough one to bet for sure, across the board with the totals, with the props. Because what are you going to go out there and bet? A guy by decision, you might get a little bit more value out there by the decision lines, but then one punch can end it, you know, either way, or even a kick in this case. So definitely a tough one to bet.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, you know, it's going to be a great fight, obviously, and great for the books because they're going to get huge action. That's going to be mostly split and diversified, so they won't have a decision either way. But from the betting perspective of the observer, I'm not really sure I'm seeing anything that's attractive as a bet. If I had to make a bet on this one, though, if you forced me to, I'd take Condit at minus 105. Nick Kalikas, if we forced you to make a bet here on the side, total or a prop, what would it be?
I'm with you. I would probably go, I mean, at the slight underdog price, Condit, I would probably take a stab at Condit. I do think it's his time right now. I mean, they got momentum on their side as well. I mean, both camps, like I mentioned, are fantastic, but Holly Holm just recently won the title at Jackson's camp. I know that's got to kind of bring the whole atmosphere and mood up even more so. They want to get some titles back in that camp, and Condit has a great opportunity to do so right now. So I think momentum's a little bit more on his side, so I would go that way.
No way this line moves significantly from where it is now by a fight night, right, Nick?
I don't think so. But if you do get, I mean, if the line flips and you're getting the champ at even money plus money or somewhere around there, then yeah, there's definitely, it's kind of a line type of play here. If the line flips and you get the champ as a dog, then there might be some value on Robbie Lawler. If the line continues to climb and you see plus money on Condit, there's no doubt you got to go that way.
But is either one of those likely to happen?
I don't think so. I think it'll stay close to a pick 'em, honestly, throughout. You know, I mean, like I said, we could see it fluctuate just a few cents here and there, but it'll stay close to where it is now.
All right, Nick Kalikas, thanks so much for your thoughts.